Hello everyone, I am Karan Saxena and we are going to talk about innovation audit framework in this video. A widely stated definition of a general audit is an evaluation of a person, organization, system, process, enterprise, project, or product. Further, the process of an innovation audit is in the context of an organization is to discover the exact strengths and weaknesses of organization's innovation process. Firstly, let us have a basic idea of what is innovation and what is innovation process. In simple terms, we can say commercialization of an invention is known as innovation. There are two common approaches present in the literatures regarding how to illustrate an innovation process, that is, the process of successfully exploiting the new ideas. Some researchers simplify it as a linear process, and others have tried to include the complexity of innovation. The greatest chance of affecting the overall innovation process of a company is in the early phases of innovation. These early phases are also referred as the front end of innovation, which includes the five elements. First, opportunity identification. It represents the stage where the company identifies the opportunity that the company wants to pursue and is typically driven by the goals of the organization. Second, opportunity analysis. This is where the identified opportunities are translated into specific business and technology opportunities. The next element, idea genesis, is signified by the concretization of the ideas, often via brainstorming. Once concrete ideas have been formed, the idea selection element commences. The procedure used to select ideas differ as the information on which to base these decisions is often limited. The final element, concept and technology development, describes the forming of a business case based on the estimates of example market potential, customer need, or competitor assessments. This stage also includes prototyping and prototype testing. Now, coming back to the innovation audit. Innovation audit is the in-depth analysis of organization current capabilities, processes, and procedures. It examines the key indicators that are the strengths and weaknesses of innovation. The result of the audit will highlight barriers to innovation as well as identify new capabilities. It fosters innovation in the organization culture. Alignment between common purpose and action for innovation happens. In this, innovation can be categorized into 108 elements with the combination of three parameters spread across the three axes. First, nature of innovation, which consists of sustainable, disruptive, efficient. Second, types of innovation, which consist of design and marketing, product, service, markets, customer channels, technology, processes, business model, management, inventory. And the last, locus of innovation, which consists of small group of teams, projects, organization, business ecosystem. Now, let us talk further about these parameters in detail.
So this is Gurdeep and I will try to explain first axis of innovation audit, that is x-axis or based on types of innovation. Types of innovation contains 9 types of, that is design and marketing, product, service, market and customer channels, technology, processes, business model, management and inventory. So talking about first type, design and marketing. Design innovation is not just about coming up with new ideas and products, it is also about changes that lead to growth and differentiation. Next is product. Product innovation is the creation and subsequent introduction of a good or service that is either new or an improved version of the previous goods or services. This is broader than the normally accepted definition of innovation that includes the invention of new products, which in this context are still considered innovative. Next is services. Services innovation is used to refer to many things. This include but not limited to innovation in services, in service products, new or improved service products, that is commodities or public services. Often this is contrasted with technological innovation. Though service products can have technological elements, this sense of service innovation is closely related to service design and new service development. Innovation in service processes, new or improved ways of designing and producing services. This may include innovation in service delivery system, though often this will be regarded instead as a service product innovation. Innovation of this sort may be technological, technique, or expertise based, or a matter of work organization. Innovation in service firms, organization and industries, or that is our organizational innovation as well as service product and process innovations, and the management of innovation process within service organizations. So next is market and customer channel. Channel innovation is another type which is far-reaching and frequently triggered with other types of innovation. When we examine channel innovation, consider not just the core offering but also complementary products or offering which may undergo channel innovation as a byproduct of other innovations. A very basic example could be that the advent of the automobile allowed myriad channel innovation in the delivery and fulfillment of non-automobile related products such as milk, ice, or beer. In a more modern example, we may someday see channel innovation in the delivery of emergency medical supply as a byproduct of the advent of the modern drone. Now, Ananya will take over from this.
Hello, I am Ananya and I will take you through the next five types of innovation, which are technology, process, business model, management, and inventory. So, starting with technology, technological innovation is an extended concept of innovation. While innovation is a rather well defined concept, it has a broad meaning to many people, and especially numerous understanding in the academic and the business world. Innovation refers to adding extra steps of developing new services and products in the marketplace or in the public that fulfill unaddressed needs or solve problems that were not in the past. Technological innovation, however, focuses on the technological aspect of a product or service rather than covering the entire organizational business model. It is important to clarify that innovation is not only driven by technology. With this, the next is process innovation. A process innovation is the implementation of a new or significantly improved production or delivery method. This includes significant changes in techniques, equipment, and or software. The next is business model. A business model innovation is the development of new unique concepts supporting an organization's financial viability, including its mission and the process for bringing those concepts to fruition. The primary goal of business model innovation is to realize new revenue sources by improving product value and how products are delivered to customers. Fourth is the management innovation. For our purposes, management innovation is anything that substantially alters the way in which the work of management is carried out or significantly modifies customary organizational forms and by doing so advances organizational goals. Put simply, management innovation changes the way managers do what they do and does so in a way that enhances organizational performance. The last is inventory innovation. So the sweet spot for inventory innovation is to spend the minimum amount to have adequate stock for customer orders. There is no shortage of software to help with this, but there's also much inventory management to address the realities of sophisticated analytics, multiple sales channels, unsold items, and the shipping logistics. Coventry is based in California. It focuses on real-time inventory and catalog management. Retailers can export their sales transaction to Coventry to create a list of products which can be used to add photos, create products and bundles, and manage inventory. With this, these were the five types of innovation. Now my colleague will take you forward.
So this is Akshay Khanna, and now we'll move forward. In the innovation audit on Z-axis, we describe the business on the nature of innovation. On the basis of nature of innovation, the business could be divided into three categories: disruptive innovation, sustainable innovation, and efficient innovation. Disruptive innovation refers to a technology whose application significantly affects the way a market or industry functions. An example of modern disruptive innovation is the internet, which significantly altered the way the companies did business and which negatively impacted the companies that were unwilling to adopt to it. Some other examples of disruptive innovation are smartphones, online encyclopedias, video streaming services, personal computers, and many more. Sustainable innovation is a process of sustainability consideration are integrated into a company system from idea generation through research and development and commercialization. Sustainable innovation has been defined as covering the spectrums of levels of innovation from incremental to radical. Sustainable innovation is more disruptive because it is creating an entirely new and better business models that make it harder for the corporations to defend the status quo. Some examples of the sustainable innovation are electric vehicles, wind and solar energy plants, water efficient fixtures, and green spaces. Efficiency can be measured as getting the maximum results out of minimum efforts put. Efficient innovation is measured by the cost effectiveness. When cost of the innovation is minimized but the benefits out of it is maximized, it is known as an efficient innovation. The ideal situation is that capital released by efficiency innovation would be invested into disruptive innovation to create a new market and new jobs.
Hello everyone. So now I'll be talking about the y-axis, which basically represent the locus of innovation. And by locus of innovation, we mean the place where the innovation is taking place. And it's very important to identify the origin of the innovation, as this will further help us in understanding from where and how the ideas are getting generated. So there are four different kinds of locus or place of innovation, which we'll talk one by other. First, let us get started with the first one, which is a small group of teams, which might seem unusual at first, because most of our perception is that innovation happens in large and successful organizations, right? But that's not always true. A world-changing idea might come up while sitting in small group of people in office or literally anywhere. When people work in small groups, they tend to contribute in more creative and effective way. For example, in Amazon, Jeff Bezos has the two pizza rule. He says he doesn't have meeting with groups that couldn't be fed with two pizzas because he believes that communication happening in small groups are far more efficient than in larger groups. Now coming to the next locus of innovation, which is projects. So this is basically where the most of the corporate innovations take place. Here, innovation should be structured, well planned, and divided in smaller and sequential parts, like insight development, idea generation, designing the framework. And here we can take example of Apple's iPod, where the project team came up with such a strong technology innovation, which literally changed the fate of Apple in electronics market. And now we'll talk about the next place of innovation, which is organizations. So organizations, through their continuous focus towards learning and development initiatives, creates a suitable environment which lead to such organizational level innovations. This largely depends on organization's vision and its practices that are being followed, and how they adopt creative processes in their organizations to influence the employees to become more and more innovative. And this we can take example of Tesla, where I know the organization as a whole led the way in energy innovation, transforming the transport industry from conventional to sustainable energy. And lastly, we'll come to business ecosystem, which are dynamic networks of entities interacting with each other to create and exchange certain sustainable values. Here, the companies within a business ecosystem are simultaneously collaborating and competing with each other in order to co-create and co-evolve and develop innovation in a more effective way. In this, we could take example of Uber, which developed within networks of customers, suppliers, and producers of complementary services. And they have also expanded massively in global market by collaborating with the different governments, markets, and other players. So thank you.
Now, let me take you through product-based innovation through some examples. We chose automobile sector for this, and what better example than Tata Motors. Tata Motors, India's largest company in automobile and commercial vehicle sector, launched Tata Nano in January 2007. A four-seater car, Tata Nano, with a purchase price as low as 2.05 lakhs. The world's cheapest car was a disruptive innovation and was produced for the emerging markets of India, where 95% of the population belonged to the bottom of the pyramid. Tata Motors developed new technologies to develop Tata Nano in conformity with specific needs of low-income consumer. In order to achieve their low price, Tata Motors reduced the production cost by radically decreasing the car's performance and focusing mainly on low-cost design. To elaborate, the type of innovation fell under the product category. The locus of innovation was projects, and a disruptive level of innovation is inevitable from the above facts. Thank you.
So moving forward, I am Amit and I'll be taking you through the innovations of Toyota Motor Corporation. So Toyota has been mainly renowned for its thoroughness and quality. After having established solid basis of its production, Toyota finally bounced back on its achievements and invested many efforts in the research and development. Under the process innovation, it innovated revolutionary flexible assembly lines. So Toyota does not only have an exceptional quality and industrial rigor, but also is in a constant search for innovation which requires development of the production chain. The previous assembly line was a very lean arrangement comprising a multitude of small segments and robots aimed at a very prescriptive task. So, in the new modular flexible line, they were able to rearrange the production chain by moving the workstations according to the model they are producing and rearranging them. The modular and flexible assembly line were much cheaper, and the workers were assisted by robots and tapeless automated guided vehicles, which now no longer followed marks on the ground but were fitted with navigation systems. All the equipments were more ecological. So this type of assembly line therefore allows the better respect for environment, requires less cost of infrastructure and machine, and allows even higher quality while allowing uninterrupted production in the event of a technical problem. This innovation is a process innovation and its nature is an efficient innovation. The next innovation that we'll be talking about is THUMS, that is totally human model for safety. So Toyota researchers are also experimenting with passenger safety, which is the most important point in the auto industry. THUMS, that stands for Total Human Model for Safety, is an example for Toyota Motor Corporation's progress in this field. This new model is revolutionary because it reproduces the consequences of a shock on the human body by considering the muscles, internal organs, and bones as closely to reality as possible. The thumbs was mainly designed because the vehicles of the future will be having automatic braking systems, and it is important to note and test the interaction between the seat belts and the human body. To assure the best comfort and the safety to the customers, Toyota therefore asserts itself as a pioneer in car manufacturing and also in terms of innovation. The innovation here is a product innovation and its nature is sustainable. With this, we come to an end of the video where we discussed about the innovation audit framework, all its three axes, and then we took two examples from the automobile industry of Tata and of Toyota Motor Corporation to explain its effects. Thanks a lot and have a nice day.